Boy, this is going to be quite a shift today. So, today I'm requesting patience. Patience. Welcome to God Power Live with Naima, where Black women gods and even, or should what do you call it? Melanin dominant folk. That's the language. Melanin dominant folk come to connect with their likeness and refine their emotions so we can do what we came here for. I have been mentoring, coaching for 12 years now. And today I'm doing something different. I've been getting communication for the last week that it's time for me to elevate my language. And after yesterday's God Power Live with Naima, it was made absolutely clear that it's time for me to elevate my language. And there's a activity for me to engage in. So today I will be speaking slower and being very mindful of the way that I articulate. I'm giving thank you to Master Nigel. I have remembered him in the last week, particularly around language and what he calls virus words. And so I'm being very mindful of those virus words as I speak now. And here we go. So that's why I'm requesting patience. Today is going to be very different than normal because I'm being mindful of virus words and the language I'm using in order to create. So one of the things that, this is going to be interesting. One of the things that I said yesterday that where the communication I've been getting all week around it's time for me to elevate my language, that really brought it home for me and it was put in front of me, is when I emphatically expressed, I'm so unwell. Okay, I used another word. So being mindful here. When I emphatically express something about I'm so, you know, uh, so this is the practice right here. In this moment, this is the practice. It was a sentence that was, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, hello, at the hamburger. It it was a poisonous sentence for my system. There we go. It was a poisonous sentence for my system. And why does this particularly matter for me? Right? It also matters for anyone listening to my voice who knows that it is time to elevate their language. That just like the Bible says, the power of the tongue, and that's what this is. And the reason why it's so particularly striking for me is because of the ordainment on my life and who I know I am. And so that sentence, and then wow. Thank you for your patience. One of the reasons why I ran One of the reasons why I ran from power the way I was running at the very end of 2017, all of 2018, and most of 2019, why I ran is because the responsibility of power felt like a burden. True power, where I am the allness, I am the itness, it is me, everything. And I could see even before the running started at the end of 2017, earlier in 2017, before I officially started running, I could, I've shared about what I saw. Ooh. Hmm. And a part of what I was avoiding was leaving people behind, particularly melanin dominant folk. So obviously that's my very human self, that's my very mortal self, the part of me that feels. Okay. And so I can see even how up till now, or let's say up till more so maybe yesterday, like the emphaticness of yesterday's God Power Live with Naima, how much the not wanting to leave people behind. Like, you see? Like, even that, okay? And there was energetically for me such a, the word misplacement is coming to mind. Misplacement. And who I am, who I am, who I am. Yeah. Who I am. Wow. Here, here, and wow. It's time. It's time for my language to reflect who I am completely. So my language now reflects who I am completely. So what does that look like? Well, well, people will see. People will see. So for the first time, I can actually see a notification like right now. Let me open up and see. Oh, I don't know how to say your name. Oh, pardon me. So that I just, according to virus language, I just made a mistake. What's the name of, what's the correct pronunciation of Qulianov? Would that person like to type it phonetically? So power language, let me go look at the actual title for today. I remember power language. Language of power. Language of power. Feel power in the body. Speak power. Unleash power. Feminine Quarters begins next Tuesday. So, the intelligence in the female body. The intelligence in the female body. Mm. It's clear. It's very clear. It's clear. It's clear. What can I do when I have my intelligence as the priority? Who am I? What am I able to create? Who do I see? Wow. Wow. Would I like more? Would I like to prioritize this? Hmm. Would I like to prioritize this? Of course. Who am I? Who am I as I prioritize, as I live my intelligence, as I live intelligence? Hmm. So few words are required. So few words are required. So few words are required. Let's just. So, who am I to be to communicate here? That's what I'm asking. Who will I communicate? What's to be communicated? Who's to be communicated? Who who's to be communicated? Hmm. Wow. Wow. Okay. Are there any questions? Do I have any questions? Hmm. What's the question? I will wait about 30 seconds for questions. Otherwise, it's au revoir for today. Language of power. So this just came to me. Language of power. So this is what just came. And this is a very simplified version. Okay. Mm. The language of power is one where I am the center. I, which can be equated with one. I am one. I am one. And instead of language that's very you, language that's very they, language that's very us, we, and it's total. Total is like the wholeness, the completeness of the language is completely sourced from I. That immediately shifts the thinking, as I'm no longer doing any kind of projective language, which immediately disempowers. There's a better word, which immediately dissolves the strength of everything I say, immediately lowers the strength, dissolves the strength of everything I say, lowers the strength. I'm in practice right now. I'm in practice. Okay. So this is why there's talking slow. And as I'm talking, what's happening is my brain is reorienting. It's grabbing from a deeper place, from that responsible place, that like wholly self-responsible. It's like pulling from there versus as early as earlier today, yesterday, it's much easier, like where there's less responsibility. It's just easier to clutter my language with projective words and putting words together, like I said, the you and the they and the them and all that, which immediately lowers responsibility. It lowers responsibility. It lowers, and when I say responsibility, I mean responsibility in my language, which is reflective of what's actually going on inside of me. And the inside of me is the one that's seeing the world, that's making choices about what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, how I'm looking at it, all that. And there's lots of the alternative to what I prefer when I speak in the less responsible language. There's more of a beingness of what I prefer, Would I, would I, there's less of what I prefer. There's less of what I prefer. That word prefer, though, there's something off about that. There's something off about the word prefer. I can feel it. Whew. So this is where I am now. This is where I am now. I'm practicing patience is required, and there's a new way for me to serve first myself, and then those I am in connection with. Um, I didn't see the question. Did I miss the question? Hold on. No, I didn't. Okay. Oh, hello, Mashika. Did you just get here? So, Mashika, I'm doing something different. I'm getting ready to go, so I won't be saying much about this, but uh, my language, I'm cleaning my language. So I shared it earlier when I first got here about all week. The communication I've been receiving is that it's time for me to elevate my language, clean up my language. And after yesterday's live stream, it was made absolutely clear it's time to clean the language for reasons. Alrighty. Have a great weekend. Take good care of yourselves.